OTHERspace PM. Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome to OTHERspace PM. It's Tuesday, October 7th, and we got Jason the Ape in the house, and myself,
He's
Nana.
back. He's back. Baron Von Hustle. Baron Von Hustle stepped in last week when we had our guest. Appreciate him stepping in, but Jason the Ape was missed. I was told, so had to make sure he was back for tonight. We got a lot to unpack, bro. But happy Tuesday, happy OTHERspace PM. I'm stoked, man. There's a lot to break down today.
I mean, I eagerly wait for these Tuesday nights, these Tuesday evenings to just chop it up with you. A lot has gone down over the last week, and I think we're looking forward to, the week ahead. There's a lot of things going on. So yeah, I mean, Yuga Labs Gaming, creating a focus group over there. You got some people in the space that are just moving on, doing some really cool things.
Yeah, more
Legends
layoffs.
of the Mara, the biosentiment fragments are going to be all farmed out in the next day or two. And yeah, like I think there's a lot we can unpack, but before we do, how you feeling, man? You feeling all right?
I'm good.
It's good to see you.
I'm good. It's been a great few days. Life's good. Just hustling. Excited that season 6 of Heavy Metal is coming to an end. So, but football's back. That's been really fun. Sadly, I must report that you and I are sitting at 1-5 at the bottom of our league. So, at least, Sean, at least we're there together.
Yeah, that's true. It sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I feel like I drafted so well, and then it all went to shit. So, but no, dude, it's been good. I'm also trying to play with my
This is what happened last time. Where I freaking started off the first part of the season really bad, and then you know what? I've just been keeping an eye out on the waiver wire, just some bad luck with some injuries.
Yeah.
I drafted Saquon as my first, and he's been out.
Bro, I have Justin Jefferson as the #1 overall pick, and he's not coming back to be a Viking, I'm pretty sure. So
wait, what do you mean not coming back to be a Viking? He's going to be a Viking.
He's hurt for a while. He's not going to play with Kirk Cousins again, dude. Those days are done. Kirk's trash. Man. He's trash. hot garbage. No, man, football's great. I can't wait for Thursday. There's going to be a good matchup, but that's part of the fun of the PM. It's not always just about all NFT and crypto stuff. We talk about what's going on with the week before we jump into it, man. So I appreciate that. What kind of shirt are you wearing right now? Because that looks like the top of a mutant hat.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, dude. This is
nice.
This is part of the Diamond Ape collaboration.
Nice.
Nicky Diamonds, and I believe at the time this was Franelations. This was his mutant.
That's sick. Yeah, I got
little DMT with
hero one
trippy hat.
That's nice though. I haven't seen that one before. Dude, I'm excited, to talk about some of the merch that we discussed earlier. You were showing me the dunks, and I was excited for those Bapes. I can't afford to go to Hong Kong, but I might be able to afford one of those pairs of shoes. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to talk about some of the merch. And speaking about like merch and products, dude, Minty Fresh hooked it up. Minty Fresh vibes, definitely got us to test out the Sandwear Sand Sound earbuds. These are really cool, man. I'm really enjoying listening.
But you can't see them.
Yeah, I got the app downloaded. Pretty cool. You get to mess around with some of the customation, and yeah, I think the case is pretty.
Dude, having it on a lanyard it came with a lanyard.
Oh, it did? Damn.
Yeah, bro. I've been wearing them like around my neck all day. So It's kind of neat.
Yeah, man. But how do they sound for you, man? I'm curious, like what did you end up playing? Because I've been hearing lots of great things about these, like how, it's spatial audio and that you can hear things in music that you may not have noticed before. But what did you end up playing?
I mean, the first thing I realized is I could hear myself breathing with these in. Like, if you're not playing music, you can hear different things. It's crazy. But no, I was listening to a lot of Lil Wayne, a lot of stuff with just bass. I downloaded that app today too and was adjusting, kind of playing with it, and just some hip hop because I was curious, like, what's the bass sound like? But I haven't attached it to any games
Yeah,
yet. Actually, you know what? A minute ago, the Hunt popped up, and that was super loud, and I was like, "Oh my god, these things they're pretty incredible."
yeah.
But it's appreciated how we get to test these out. I like the case, to be honest with you. It looks really
Yeah, the
futuristic.
case is super sick, man. It's pretty cool. Like I thought, just based on the look of it, that it was going to be like it was going to feel a little bit bulkier because
Yeah.
it's larger than my AirPod Pros, and it's surprisingly light. So that was one thing I was impressed with. And then, dude, I listened to the 10KTF movie motion picture soundtrack, that's on
Mm-hmm.
Spotify. And there was definitely one of the tracks, I forget which exact one. It's the one where you can literally like hear the piano like when the hands are being placed onto the keys. You know what I
That's
mean? Like
wild.
you can hear the live sound of it all, almost like the creaks in the bench too. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. And yeah, I'm just, you know, I've had them on like listening to spaces while I'm doing things around the house, but I just felt like this is cool to see like someone in the space coming up with a hardware product. And you don't see too many hardware products that come out. So to see Sandware come out of the Sand Sound team is really cool. And knowing how immersed they are in Web3 and all that, no pun intended. But yeah, shout out to Sand Sound and the Sandware product and the team and Minty Fresh Vibes. Thanks for hooking both Jason the Ape and myself up to test these out, and look forward to seeing them progress with this, dude.
Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate it as well. We'll keep using them and testing them out, and I think this is the first pair of headphones I've had. I was calling AirPods. So I haven't had anything but AirPods for the last I don't know how long. So this is nice to try something different. But let's jump into it, man. There's a lot to unpack today. We got to
Yeah.
talk about Yuga Labs Gaming and this focus group, right? And I didn't even know about this. You told me this just like kind of breaking news 2 hours ago. You asked me to like, did you read Daniel Alegre's Twitter post? And I said, no, I
Yeah.
don't know what, like, to be honest with you, I've been putting DraftKings lineups in for Thursday night. Um, and so I was just kind of doing that. And I looked at Twitter right now and holy crap, he wrote us an essay. So if someone made a review video for us to watch, that'd be great. But I guess that's our job to
Yeah.
do the review video. So
Yeah, exactly. As content creators, we're still looking for videos so we can break down a
and
video
we could
instead
just
of
like
explain
watch it
it.
together. But how'd that make you feel? The first thing I said when I looked at it, because I kept scrolling and scrolling on the thing, I was like, damn, doesn't he know we don't know how to read? Like, we don't read, that's so long. So I'm gonna read the comments below and see what people said.
Oh my
No, but
gosh,
Sean,
you're
you saw,
funny.
did you read it all? Did you read it all? All right,
Yeah.
let's look at it because that's an important, breaking news type of situation we should address right now.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Why don't I put it in the reader view and bring it up for us right now?
Sounds good.
So,
Sounds good.
hold on
Yeah.
1 second. I don't want to spoil it.
Was it good or bad?
I don't want to
I,
spoil it.
I didn't read it. You know,
right.
I know a lot of people are feeling all sorts of kind of ways because a lot of people getting laid off, and a lot of these people have become our friends or we're our friends, you know, and so people have been voicing their opinions quite loudly lately.
Wait, they were our friends? They're no longer our friends?
They are our friends, but they were employed. You know what I mean? I mean, some aren't. I don't know, but just more so, it's one of those things when you see them doing. Like it sucked. We had Danny Green on the other day, and then like the
Dude,
next day he got laid off.
the next
So
day.
like we literally had his last bit of Yuga positivity. I almost bought a Meebit. I'm glad I didn't.
Shit, man. Well, you know, I'm curious to hear how you might feel after reading this, because Daniel definitely addresses some of the feedback, talks a little bit about Meebits. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. Well, why don't we get into it? This is definitely some of the more breaking news. This was posted about 2 hours ago, and it's coming from Daniel Alegre. Would you like to? Do you want to like trade off so that not one of us is just me?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, I'll kick it off. I want to address some of the feedback the company and I have been receiving from many of you recently. I respect the relevant, pointed feedback, as I know it comes from a place of wanting to see improvements in our Yuga communities. First, I will start with sharing some advice that I was given by one of Yuga's founders when I started 6 months ago. He said to me, sorry, here we go. He said to me,
what did he say to you?
He said to me, it will take you 6 months on the job to truly understand the space and the importance of social communication. While I'm not naive enough to think that 6 months in, I now totally get it all, I am very aware of the importance of taking and acting on the constructive feedback and how incredibly important all of your voices are to the health of our brands.
All right, let's jump in here. Since day one, I've made it a point to attend as many meetups as I possibly can so that I can get to know you, immerse myself, and try my best to understand the tapestry of POVs that make up this eclectic Yuga family. I have attended many IRL events for BAYC, CryptoPunks, Meebits, and 10KTF in New York, Austin, Dallas, Miami, Seoul, Paris, Singapore, and Tokyo twice. I mean, is he just showing off there or what? I am usually among the first to arrive and one of the last to leave, as I really enjoy getting to know all of you and the unique opportunity to receive authentic, unfiltered feedback. I take it all in, and it's been invaluable. Thanks to some of those connections, a few big initiatives have developed, including our Made by Apes program to support the builders in BAYC, the focus on elevating the CryptoPunks art form to collectors both inside and outside of Web3, and the increased investment in partnerships to get Otherside on a faster delivery track. Let me take you back 6 months now, and here is what I saw on day one of being CEO at Yuga.
All right, before we go any further, dude, just curious if you have any quick takes.
I mean, that's exactly what he had told us originally, was this, at least in that letter we saw about the layoffs, was that the first 6 months he was just immersing himself, right? We saw him pop into OTHERspace FM spaces once, even like,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that was
he's
cool.
going around and paying attention. I saw him at the Miami event talking to Atari and maybe, you know, so I see him out there. We see his pictures. I was just joking when I said, is he showing off? Because damn, that looks like you got a job and then you get to go to these amazing places. I need a job like that someday. But you
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
I see what he's doing.
You know, it is a global brand too. That's what's really cool about this. And yeah, I think you're spot on. Cool. Well, I'll go ahead and continue. I like this whole trade-off thing. It makes reading so much more digestible.
Yeah. Well, it's really
All
long.
right. So that's what she said.
Let's bring it back on screen.
Oh, let's do that. Clearly, the teams had built unique connections with our communities and had a deep dedication to innovation, quirkiness, and passion in everything they were doing. That and the shared values I have with the founders is what drew me to the company. I also immediately realized that Yuga Labs, as a young and thinly staffed as it was, would have a very hard time executing on all the initiatives it had taken on. It was time to take a close look at our priorities and make sure that we were putting our weight behind the things that really mattered. So that's what I've been doing. As you all are now keenly aware, this had led to a restructuring and refocusing. As I mentioned in my note to the Yuga team a week and a half ago, after spending time diving deep into everything we are doing and everything we value, it came down to 3 core priorities. Support our existing communities, focus on our other side execution, and leverage partnerships to ensure a seamless execution of our big bets. All right, you can go ahead.
All right, as difficult as it's been, the restructuring is complete, and we now begin the task of refining the focus with our new team configurations. To provide even more clarity on where we have been and where we are going, here is what I've witnessed in broad strokes upon joining Yuga and what we have been working on since. So, interesting to know that they're done with their layoffs, and what they have now is their team that they intend to go forward with for the time being and execute on their vision. So let's figure out what that looks like.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you pointed that out, because, like, man, I hope they are done with the layoffs. You know, because
I mean, that's how I take that.
Me too. And the fact that it's coming at the very end of today, right? Like, this tweet came out 2 hours ago. We just got word, like, our dear friend Outer Lumen, you know, who was hired, you know, she's been working on the team over 7 months, and helped launch Legends of the Mara. You know, she was let go, and good thing is she's back in the nerdy group chat, so, like, that's cool. But yeah, you know, so other Bugs, you know, he's part of the Meebits team. There's a few people internationally. So it's I'm hoping it's finished. I hope, like, this kind of marks it. I'm glad you kind of picked up on that.
All right, let's jump back into it and see what else we got.
So,
all right, so I'll take this part and go down a little bit more.
All right.
BAYC, Ape Strong and Global Club. We know that supporting unique IRL events and getting us all together is critical. This is why we have not only supported a number of events globally in the last 10 months in partnership with the BAYC Council, along with our official MAYC second anniversary party in Miami, we have also emphasized our global presence since we have so many holders around the world. This was one of the key reasons for hosting Ape Fest in Hong Kong this year. And while the planning has been a very heavy lift for the team, I can assure you this event is going to be epic in a way only BAYC can pull off. I am lucky to be surrounded by such passionate colleagues like PP Man, IDB, Jeff N, Spicy, Spen, and so many others who are stewards inside the company for the club. Made by Apes, BAYC is not only tight and connected, it is globally entrepreneurial. What has amazed me in every city I travel to is a level of engagement and personal involvement many of you have in building what I refer to as a community-based IP creation. Building unique businesses around the Ape IP is not only exciting, it is very smart. It is the reason why we have leaned in heavily to support these efforts with our Made by Ape initiative. We want our holders to successfully leverage the IP licenses, and we will continue to support and amplify them. This is why we will be highlighting a large number of MBA businesses at Ape Fest in a couple of weeks.
That's great to hear.
Let's see,
yeah, why don't you finish off BAYC?
Yeah. Partnerships. We have a long list of partners who want to engage with BAYC. We have been very selective in our engagements as we want to present unique and well-executed partnerships to you, such as our multi-year engagement with Gucci and our recently announced Bape collaboration. There are a few more in the pipeline that will be announced soon. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
All right. So, any thoughts, dude?
I mean, the Made by Ape thing sounds cool. They're gonna, you know, bring a lot of those projects to Hong Kong. I've heard. I think you know, that's going to be an awesome opportunity for a lot of people to be out there. I know I'm going to have FOMO mainly about Hong Kong when he's like, yeah, it's going to be an epic event only BAYC can put out. Like, I'm sure it will be. I hope it's awesome for everyone that's there. I already have a ton of FOMO, and it's still like a few weeks away, but
yeah. All right. So like, yeah, big things for me is, you know, for BAYC, it's coming down. He's basically sectioning off like the core focuses with, or foci with club, Made by Apes, and partnerships. And that's kind of the way it looks like it's bucketed. So, you know, with the partnerships, I think that's what I'm really excited about. I think these really help culturally. This definitely gives us some really great utility. Obviously, you know, these are important as well. You know, things we can do to be a club, right? And I love that he hired, you know, highlighted PP Man, IDB, Jeff, Spicy, Spend, and I'm sure a lot of others that have yet to be mentioned. You know what I mean? Made by Apes is a priority, which is, you know, which is cool. It seems like there's a lot that can be done. You know, we're both building off of our IP. If BAYC continues to find ways to focus and amplify on all the holders that are actually building unique businesses, that would be great to really have that type of support, you know. And I'm thinking big as well, like, you know, maybe there's a retail storefront, and there might be at AFest, right? So there could be some really cool things that we can do to like insert ourselves as, you know, apes who have businesses and already have like this machine that kind of helps us amplify and promote everything that we're doing with our IP. So I think that's kind of how I see, like, all right, they're coupling that in with Made by Apes right here. All right, CryptoPunks. So let's see here. Let's get us down here. All right, CryptoPunks. The relationship between Punks and Yuga when I joined was, I have to say, strained. What we continually heard was that Yuga didn't care, while at the same time, there was a strong desire to be left alone. While this may have seemed contradictory to some, I feel like I understood what the community was telling us pretty clearly. As a result, we expanded our engagement with top-tier museums to elevate the already strong stature of CryptoPunks to broaden the art collector appeal for the brand. We doubled down, tripled down even, on community support. The recent meetups around the world have brought punks together, and our legacy project is a nod from Yuga to the incredible story behind the artistry. We will continue to be respectful of that legacy while bringing new art engagement opportunities to the punks. If you're a punk holder and you're in the chat right now, I want to know like how you feel about that. Before we go on to Meebits, Jay, do you have any comments on that?
I mean, the punk community is pretty dope. I've met them a few different times at different events, you know, some good friends that are apes are in it. And I find it interesting, right? Like, I don't know too much about the punk community as it's just a separate entity of sorts. I'm intrigued myself just to learn more about it. You know, like I know they made a film, I believe, or some kind of video about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
They're
really pay
doing
too
a
much attention to
collaboration
the
with
punks.
NFT now.
Yeah. To be honest with you, punks aren't my flavor, so I personally don't pay too much attention to them. So I'm like, that's cool. They want to be left alone. We can leave them alone. But that's not what Yuga's doing. They want to make them feel included. Want to highlight them as, you know, elevated art to a degree, and that's cool that they're finding ways to support them through that. If that's what's going to make, you know, that audience feel listened to, appreciated, that's awesome, I guess.
Yeah, he kind of pointed out like you know, there was a strong desire to be left alone. And then at the same time, hearing that Yuga really didn't care about the punks. So I could see that, you know, because at first I know a lot of people didn't want, they were afraid that they were going to try and turn punks into what like they did with BAYC, but it was very different, you know, and I think that was important to really establish.
Yeah, that was
So
still a big surprise when they bought the punks back in the day. I still don't entirely get that one, but you know, it's cool that they're giving him opportunity and trying to make him feel heard.
yeah. Well, maybe another conversation for another day in terms of
Yeah,
why and all of
yeah, we
that,
could have a whole
because
thing. We
I
should have
got some
punks on and
thoughts on
talk
that.
about it. Let's
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
punk conversation. All right, let's jump into Meebits. A minute ago, I was saying I'm glad I didn't buy one, but let's see if I'll regret that by the end of this paragraph. Meebits have been a different situation, a difficult situation. From a business perspective, the brand has not flourished. Yet, from a community and creative perspective, it has a broad yet quirky appeal, and its members are a passionate group. So, I believe the answer is to evolve Meebits into a dynamic and interactive ownership experience by moving them to the other side. Other side is a very important bet for Yuga. And when our creative team brought the concept for Metropolis up to my leadership team, making it a tentpole experience for Other Side felt like a slam dunk. We recently showcased the evolution of this plan in Berlin, and we are putting our best creative and engineering talent and partners on the task. The changes in the organization are all geared towards making Meebits more interactive and engaging. And of course, we will continue to support Meebs online and IRL. The buzz from Berlin is clear indicator that the community likes to come together. That does not make me like I don't have any regret that I should have got a Meebit by this paragraph. Like
Yeah.
this basically says we know that the people love the Meebits, but like dollars and cents, it hasn't been bringing us in what we think it should or could, right? Like the Meebits are around an ether right now. I think when I bought mine, it was around like 4 or 5. When I sold it, it was like 2 or 3. Um, I know that they just let go of Danny Green and Bugs and it's kind of interesting, right? They just put this event together in Germany. A lot of people were loving it. They came onto our show. We just talked about that. Like, let's say Danny Green. We recapped the experience. He shared his excitement for it. Told about how much effort he went into putting it together with everyone else in Yuga. And then you find out like, okay, so this is the priority for them is to shove Meebits into the other side as quickly as possible so that somehow they can make money with it is my guess from this paragraph.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I took away from it. Is like we're gonna put Meebits into other side so that they can make us more money somehow.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, you know, I get the feeling like they see Meebits as like, yo, it's like here's this community, they're doing their own thing. And I think the Meebit community is so upbeat, positive, you know, like there's they're just Meebin, you know, and to see Yuga put so I think Other Side is one of the things where they're kind of like, yo, this if we want to create engage like ways to engage with the community, like we've seen what Meebits had done before, and they're currently using Discord. And then, you know, I mentioned this last time too, because the last time like event that I had with Meebits online was in the metaverse, you know, and we were at 6529's metaverse on top of that, like the tallest building in his metaverse, and it was just like a little dance party. And so yeah, it's kind of like, you know, Metropolis. I see that if that is a staple in the other side, I think that that's going to do really well with the Meebits brand.
Oh yeah,
So
100%. It'll give them a place to go and be together, and it'll be cool to see
yeah,
them in the other side. And I'd be down as my ape to go visit it, and check it out.
yeah, for sure. And yeah, it seems that they're focusing on that, you know, as they're saying the changes in the organization are geared towards making Meebits more interactive and engaging. So we'll
Let's see
see.
what that
We'll
means.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
That one's going to
GM,
be the biggest curiosity to me personally.
yeah. Yeah. Let's see what 10KTF what he has to say about 10KTF.
All right, let's go.
10KTF, in my mind, 10KTF deserved a more substantial role in the world of Yuga. The Thursday events have been important to the community, but we needed to find an even deeper engagement opportunity. With its strong partner focus, it became increasingly clear that Otherside is the right platform to grow the engagement and uniqueness of 10KTF. Eric Reed will also be diving in with the community soon to showcase some of his near-term priorities for the brand.
Okay. All right, Sean, what do you take away from this? Because I know 10KTF is your jam. It's one of the things that, you know, I know you actively are aware of and participate in. So what do you make of this?
Shit, man. We need more need more info. But the big takeaway is Eric Reed's going to be diving in with the community soon to showcase some of his near-term priorities. That is what I'm looking forward to.
He'll be doing a little tour.
Yeah, I would imagine so, right? Similar to Daniel, how he took his first 6 months to travel, meet with as many people as he possibly can, go to all the meetups he could to really just kind of understand the inner workings and tapestry of the culture and communities. I think Eric Reed is also going to be diving in as well, you know, and the 10KTF community is very unique, more than any other community that I've seen. And so, not saying like, you know, apes aren't unique or anyone else, but I just have to say, like, yeah, a lot of people have a lot of pride being in that community. And, you know, Eric Reed, who's the GM for the other side, I think it's a sensitive group, especially with, you know, the downsizing and the reorg. There's a lot of people that were staples of the community and the culture that are no longer with the team. However, the community remains hopeful. And I think a lot of us knew that this was coming in terms of 10KTF having a permanent place in the other side.
Right.
Here's my personal thoughts, though. I think 10KTF had, to this point, done a really great job at creating immersive storytelling using the existing tools, such as Twitter. And every Thursday, they're using Twitter and they're using Discord. Those are very much like Web2 tools that, you know, we're using. But I'm not saying Otherside is pure Web3, but hear me out. I think in the second... in the Otherside test demo that we went to in LA, you know, there wasn't like a big objective, you know, in terms of what we were doing there. There wasn't a game that we were playing. It was like, look, you're loaded up as your avatar and you guys are going to go explore with each other. And then one of the things that stuck out to me that Figgy had said was, you know, communities, they find ways to have fun with each other, like in Discord when people are doing GIF dance parties, or, you know, copy pasta, or just things like that, where the community finds way when people, you know, do the alphabet in Discord. You know, someone writes A, then the next person writes B, and then we all try and like figure that out until like someone messes it up, right? Those are some things that Discord didn't come up with those games. Like there wasn't any sort of rule book or thing that said like, hey, community, here's some things you can do to have fun. The community just came up with ways to have fun with each other using those tools. if the community has access to Otherside, we're going to have fun with each other in brand new ways if they give us these tools. And I think that's one of the things that's really exciting for if it does become a focus. Let's get the community in there and let's start having fun with each other, and let's see how, just like in the Otherside test demo, they added elements of that Thursday show in the Otherside. So I can imagine like us exploring, some people exploring different areas that are now immersed into the storyline. They can build worlds out. I just think that it adds a whole new layer of immersion because it's giving them a new tool, and it's giving all of the community a new tool. And we can have fun with it and get creative with it, just like we have with Discord or Twitter. But it's a tool that Yuga owns, and it has, hopefully richer capabilities, for discussions and etc. So yeah, I think it makes sense in this, if from like Daniel's standpoint. But I think the Eric Reed diving in with the community was like the biggest takeaway for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton in here, right? It basically says that this is a project that needed to be elevated in the Yuga experience because of how dedicated the community is, how fantastic the storytelling has been, and how well it's been received by so many of us, right?
Yeah,
And
you're
the
right.
fact that, yeah, like it says it needs to be more prominent in the Yuga world. And they're saying like the Thursdays have been cool, but like we think we can go deeper with that. We can give you something better. And so I think that's where we're gonna hear Eric go around and share these thoughts of like what that better means to them now, while it's focused and aimed into the other side. So, then it becomes the question of what are we gonna do with these characters on the other side? How will they be used? And we'll learn this when Eric goes around and probably does like a little media tour of some sorts and shares his thoughts. But my initial thought of this, man, too, is we really enjoyed those Thursdays. I hope they don't go away with them completely. I hope that they evolve into something bigger and better and deeper, like they say. But I hope they still kind of keep that foundational component, because there's something really special about looking forward to Thursday and getting those little, tidbits of stories, whatever they may be.
Yeah.
So, but that's going to be cool. We'll make some more content about that. And the better thing, and this is the biggest takeaway, Sean, is all things lead to the other side, and when we started this OTHERspace FM almost over a year ago at the first, space Twitter, the first Otherside trip, we didn't really anticipate all of these things going to there, but like as it's gone on, right, it seems super obvious. So excited to see it. I'm excited to hear Eric go around and share some thoughts, right? We'll get to know him a little bit better. So
I'm looking forward to that. Cool. You want to go ahead and read Otherside?
Sure. Otherside. I joined a few weeks after the second trip. To put things into perspective, Otherside was announced mid-2022. There was an 8-month-long lag between the first and second trips, and while we had some good engagement moments in the second trip, we could have done better. For example, we didn't have enough capacity to let all of our community members from around the world participate concurrently, and the evolution between the first and second trip was also not where it needed to be. It was clear that we needed to make changes, and quickly, in order to live up to the expectations of what the other side can and should be. Building an immersive metaverse platform is hard, both technically and creatively. You have undoubtedly noticed a constant drumbeat of announcement recently, from the partnerships with Hayden and Big Rhino to the acquisition of Roar Studios, which are aligned towards accelerating the evolution of Otherside. So it can be digital connection. I need you to move us real quick. I can't read that. Right, let's go back. Which are aligned towards accelerating the evolution of Otherside. So it can be the digital connection and experience platform for other Yuga family and communities and beyond. As many have now witnessed from the Los Angeles and Berlin events, we are accelerating the development and building out unique and differentiated digital experiences that are supported with strong and scalable tech. Okay, so that doesn't tell me anything that we don't know. You know, they basically said, "Hey, listen, the first trip was cool. It shouldn't have taken so long. Second trip didn't live up to what it should have been." You know, I remember us doing a spaces that day, and Brian Lopez, you know, one of the blue apes with a diamond grill, joined us and was really disheartened because he had brought his kid up to go into the second trip with them and wasn't able to get in. You know, and that was someone who had been around since the beginning. So to hear that story, you know, I'm sure he wasn't the only person that had a story like that. So, you know, I appreciate that they are aware of
right
how
here.
shitty that was, because that was shitty, right? To own something that's so expensive but not to be able to participate. Yeah.
So yeah,
So now,
clearly. Sorry, dude.
no, it's
You
okay.
want to go for it?
Go for it.
I mean, clearly he kind of points out how Otherside was announced mid 2022. There's an 8-month long lag between the first and second trip. So whether it's the team, whether it's the partner or Improbable, this is like not acceptable, right? Like this is a long time between the first and second trip.
Right.
And
right.
he was just, you know, he talks about while we had some good engagement moments in the second trip, we could have done better. And then,
right, for a long gap and it not to be perfect, come on.
Yeah, like, and he points out we didn't have enough capacity to let all of our community members from around the world participate concurrently. And the evolution between the first and second trips was also not where it needed to be. So he's talking about the evolution between the first and the second trip. Like, yo, what was like, there wasn't enough different, you know, to really push Otherside forward. And then, but more so, not having the capacity to let all of their community members from around the world participate concurrently. That's a technical thing. And that is very much, you know, one of the solutions that Improbable has kind of been the one to lean on for that with their M squared platform.
You know, and that's interesting, right? They're not mentioned anywhere here. They mentioned all the new partnerships, right? All the new partnerships and acquisitions, so that they could double down on the speed, right? Because I'm guessing one partner or maybe the incorrect partner wasn't working out, or maybe it's still, we don't know. There's some drama there with that though.
Yeah, it's just interesting that he specifically calls that out, right?
Yeah.
In this message.
And it's interesting, like we've looked up some of these. Maybe we should do a different video where we look at Hayden and Big Rhino and these, you know, studios and talk about what projects they've made or product, because I spent some time digging into each of them, and they've made some cool stuff. So hopefully they really can accelerate the development of what they want to bring for all of these different communities into the other side, right? So it's not just going to be a clubhouse build.
Yeah, I love what Anthony said. High standards. I appreciate he wants better.
Yeah,
1000%. And you know, he ends on, we are accelerating development and building out unique and differentiated digital experiences that are supported with strong and scalable tech. That's assuring. You know, I think what he's trying to do is assure all of us that, you know, they are accelerating the development and building out unique and differentiated digital experiences that are supported with strong and scalable tech. So we'll see, right?
We shall see.
We'll see. All right, gaming. Let's see here. Okay. I'm keenly aware that while Dookie Dash was a fun game and experience, we have fallen well short of expectations with Forge. Damn! The lessons that we are actively learning that we need to rely on seasoned gaming partners to help build our experiences. I have said many times that I don't want Yuga to be a gaming company per se. Yet I do want to enable gaming and other digital experiences that our current and potential holders will find rewarding and fun, and can help expose broader audiences to our brands. It has also become clear that many of you don't necessarily want to hear about gaming at all, while others want much more information. We hear you, and that was the impetus for launching the gaming channel. The ongoing feedback is critically important, and we will continue to take it to heart as we develop new games and gamified experiences.
I mean, that's important, right? Like they created a whole new Yuga Gaming Twitter handle just to separate that specific information from the Bored Ape feed. And I think people appreciate that, because there's a lot of people who don't want to play this, don't want to play games at all.
Yeah,
I get that.
I think a lot of people were, because it's a little like, you don't know what's true or not when you hear Daniel say like, "Oh, we're not a gaming company." We're, what did he call it? Yeah. Like a content and community, right? It was something along those lines. Like we're a content and community company, but that's still pretty nebulous in terms of like, well, gaming is considered content and community as well, and so I think that's the thing, is like, all right, gaming's a big part of this though. And I think he also, uses the term enable gaming and digital experiences. I think digital experiences have the same components of gaming when it comes to like, like some people might not be able to tell the difference. Like, was the first trip a game, or was that a digital experience? Like, it really blurs the line in some cases. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. I would say that first one was a digital experience, and the second one was more like a game, right? Because like we had to search for something, we had to beat the coda.
And they can be both, right? And then it's the same thing with a Zoom call. Like that could be a digital experience, that could be a game. It depends on how you facilitate that. But yeah, the ongoing feedback I think is important in creating that Yuga Gaming channel, which is something that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, the ongoing feedback is interesting, right? Because no matter what, we're going to keep giving it. And the reality is, the reason we're going to keep giving it is because, one, we love the club, and two, we own our own assets. So we want to protect our own IP and make sure it's aligned with stuff that we believe in. Because I know many of my friends recently have exited the club, and while that's a great opportunity for some new people to come into the club, I think it's a lot of them felt like the club kind of took a cultural shift away from what they felt the reason they initially joined was. You know what I mean? And I could see that.
Yeah. And then this right here, we've fallen well short of expectations with Forge.
Yeah, dude, the Forge fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, not even gonna lie, a little bit, no sugarcoating. I'm so tired of that game.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
And then to realize afterwards that the rewards, or the ApeCoin rewards, aren't for everybody. What I hope, and this is what I hope, is that Evo 2 and Evo 3 are much better games and give me a sense of excitement for having grinded so much into my Evo 1 characters, right?
Yeah.
Because if I put all this time and I go and evolve it, and it's nothing, it's like a continuation of this first game, a lot of people are gonna be mad, bro.
Yeah, I mean, even just utility and Legends of the Mara, right? Like that's gonna be cool. So I agree, man. That's what it was all for anyway, right? It's kind of like this interactive mint, and we're evolving it along the way. But you're absolutely right. Like, I didn't feel like the amount of time and effort that I put into evolving my heavy, at this point, I didn't feel like the reward or like there wasn't the satisfaction to say like, oh, okay, this was all worth it.
Yeah,
I still have to bank on some future experience that it isn't even created or announced yet.
Yeah. And
So
doesn't that make you wonder, like, you know, with part of the layoffs, we know that one of the persons who developed this game was part of that layoff experience. So now it makes me wonder, had he already started to plan the Evo 2 gaming experience?
wait, who are you talking about? I'm lost.
I don't know his name, but I saw amongst the many Twitter, you know, posts about I got laid off from Yuga was somebody who said they were the main game designer for the Forge.
I know there was that one person. I don't recall his name, but he said he worked on Forge. He worked on
Yeah, he said it
Dash.
was like his baby or something. But my whole curiosity really is like, did they have an Evo 2 game created and now they're canning it and outsourcing the game because they're like it just wasn't working, or has that part just not been created yet? You know, and that's another thing is, does that they better not vote. Bro, they better not make that part of the next game or any other fucking thing they do. All right,
Yo,
let's keep
Choice
going.
is straight up not gonna vote anymore, like for anything.
Bro, I've stopped voting the last few days. Just like I'll do the ones with you and other people, but I don't care as much anymore. I'm like, also because we know the first 3 amps are the same as the last 3 amps. So I'm like, all right, I got legendary on the first one. What do I need this one for again?
Yeah. Yeah, Dirk, you're absolutely right. Like we still have Evo 2 and Evo 3, and I think they have an opportunity to, like, you know, make this even better. So they've been listening. I think the latest communication and kind of the vibe has been really focused on that community feedback as of recent. So I'm starting to see some positive traction toward the right direction. All right. Ordinals. Why don't you go ahead and take this one, if you don't mind?
Ordinals. Earlier this year, we released our first collection on the Bitcoin blockchain with 12-fold. Excuse me. We have involved engagement with our weekly puzzles, where we are testing new tech with our goal to eventually release these solutions to further advance the work being done with Bitcoin. We're also finding ways to deliver the physical product to our collectors.
Wow.
It has been a whirlwind the last few months for me, and also extraordinarily rewarding to get to know so many of you. I cannot do this without your continued support. I'm really looking forward to seeing many of you at Ape Fest in a few weeks. Let's just go ahead and keep reading it all until we're done. I also know the winds blow in different directions at time, and while there is no doubt that the industry backdrop is challenging in the immediate term, I am focused on building and delivering for the long term. We are committed to standing strong. Our mission is clear: to build culture on the blockchain. And with your support, nothing will deter us from continuing to deliver on this mission. The ordinals part was cool. You know, I didn't grab one of those. The 12-fold things make those puzzles make me feel like I don't understand anything, because I look at it and I'm like, that's a cool picture, and someone's like, I solved that puzzle. I didn't even realize the puzzle. But that's cool that they're doing that.
If you're in the ordinals and, you know, you're looking at inscriptions and you're seeing like the things behind all of this, all the things that are happening with Bitcoin and the innovation there, like, it is very geeky, you know, it's very nerdy. And I love that. I think there's a lot of, it's like we found some innovation on Bitcoin, and I think that's exciting. And it's cool to see, you know, them do stuff with it, but it is very much like experimental. And I think the main thing is further advance the work being done with Bitcoin. So that's interesting. They're not just you know, solely on Ethereum blockchain. They're just talking about advancing. Like the mission is clear: to build culture on the blockchain, and that's not just Ethereum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I can appreciate that. Like as he kind of wrapped up that whole post, right? Let's take a second and just maybe give like one big takeaway each from that overall post, right? Like, Sean,
hold on, we're not done. We're not done. We're not done.
Is there more?
There's one more.
All right, go. Yeah.
P.S. Also, Clubhouse. Yeah. He
I
just
mean,
had to throw that in there just like that, dude. This.
that one.
What's your initial reaction? I want to catch you live because you're
I'll
hearing this
believe
for
it
the
when
first time.
I'll believe it when I see it. Is my initial reaction.
All right.
You know, like I'm not gonna hold my breath. That could be PS Clubhouse, also Clubhouse. Like, yes, I hear you guys bitching, or it could be like we got something in the works, and it'll be out soon, right? So, yeah, I want it to happen. I'll be excited when it does. I'll absolutely glow. But also, Clubhouse, does that mean IRL or does that mean other side? Because he's been talking other side the whole time. In our LA test, we went to the fucking swamp bar, right? So maybe he's
Yeah.
trolling
Oh,
us.
there's your
Yeah, there's
Clubhouse,
your
guys. I told
Clubhouse.
you.
Yeah, he didn't lie. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna speculate and chitter chatter. So like, I bet you it's more the other side Clubhouse than anything.
Oh no, man. I mean, I hope not. I mean, other side Clubhouse is a given because we've experienced that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's hard for me to imagine like the CEO like has this really kind of thoughtful post that he puts out to the community and then gives us PS also other side Clubhouse.
He didn't
Like,
say other
nah,
side Clubhouse.
exactly. But
Right.
that's like
But
he
he
wouldn't say that.
but
I
oh
feel.
but yeah, like wouldn't he though? I don't know. It is a long post. I hear that, you know, I could see it as a long, thoughtful post of trying to like let everyone know he's paying attention, he's voicing it. I do appreciate that he took a little time to mention everyone. However, no no mention of mutants. And I find that interesting, right? No mutants, no doggos. Those are just like not named components. So, you know, curious about that. I've made a comment about that before.
I mean, I see mutants and dogs as part of BAYC though.
Uh,
Like, do we really need to separate the apes? It's the same membership.
okay, maybe. I guess I hear what you're saying, but I'm like, at least BAYC and MAYC, I think. I guess you're right. If he says that, then that's divider, and they're trying to make it the same. I can hear it. I guess.
No, I see what you're saying too. Like, I can imagine if I just had a mutant, I'd
That's what
be
I'm
like,
saying.
oh, you
But I'm
know
not
what?
included.
No, but like you are BAYC. You don't think people think that they're BAYC? They are like a different class. I get that.
I
But
guess.
you
I
know,
guess when they
made by
started
apes
tiering all the Yuga and
club,
all this stuff,
made by
yeah,
apes, you know, those are
yeah.
applicable. Partnerships, I'm hoping that's applicable.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but that was a long post. That was a lot. Let's jump into the next thing, and now just because I saw it up there, the Gucci and Bape, man, and bro, you know, with the Hong Kong coming up and them talking about Bape collab, you know, the other day they posted that sneaker tag that said, remember when limited edition merch was limited, something like that, and it was 1 out of 1,000. And I read someone ask like, is that only going to be available in Hong Kong at Ape Fest? And they said they're going to be online opportunity as well. So
yeah, they said that.
I'm hopeful. You know, I hope that it's not like the like an auction or anything like that, because I could see that happening, like 1,000 pairs Dutch auction or something like that. Mm, but you know, Bape BAYC sneaker, that would look pretty sick.
All right, so you're talking about this right here. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
remember when limited edition meant limited edition? Bape X BAYC drops at Ape Fest in 19 days. So it says a bathing ape and the Bapesta are trademarks and your guarantee of quality.
So that's dope.
Bapesta is really the key that really signifies that this is their shoe for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, this is the tongue of it. This is probably the inside of it. You know, I think I saw a cool post by Fran where he has a bunch of his Bapestas. Let me look up the homie Fran Relations really quick. He has an insane collection. And
of sneakers.
Yeah. Of everything, man. Like sneakers, NFTs. I can't even find it right now, man.
But it, you know, the Bapestas are really cool sneakers. This is going to be an interesting collab. I know a lot of people in the club weren't familiar with the Bathing Ape, and I'm sure they're not going to be familiar with the sneaker particularly. But the fact that there is a lot of people who are stoked for this, and yeah, what, Sean, if you were to buy a pair, right? Like, what's the most that you'd be willing to spend on these? Because I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, for 1,000 of them, bro, like, what do you think? 500, $1,000 a pair?
Hell no. No, like, you can't be charging that, like, secondary prices for the primary price.
Yeah.
Yo, you got the retail price on shoes, like, you know, those have to be affordable. And what I mean by affordable,
200.
I'd say 250 and under.
Okay, I could see 250.
How much? You know how much a pair of Bapestas are? Just regular?
No, I only know like resale prices. And someone said, will it be ApeCoin only? That would be an interesting extra if it was.
Yeah, I would hope so. You know, I would really hope so. Let's see. Here's
Dirk said I'd spend 400 easy.
Yeah, for what these usually go for. Like, look, retail price $279.
So let's say 300 for a pair.
Yeah, it's a little above what I want to spend. A lot above.
And to be honest with you, like, for me, I don't like these type of shoes that look like Air Force Ones. Like, that's not a shoe I would ever wear. So
you don't rock Air Force Ones?
Never. I've never worn a pair.
Would you rather have the Adidas Bape collab?
Not particularly. Like, I mean, even the Bored Ape Adidas sneaker that I had, like the shoe, the glue is already coming apart a little bit. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
The Bathing Ape ones are dope. I wouldn't be opposed to probably buying one and leaving it in the collection pile for 1,000 only, you know. But I'm looking forward to the shirts, the merch, you know, like I dig their merch.
Yeah, you know, like, I'm not gonna die on a hill with these shoes. Bapestas are cool. I think the collectability aspect of having one of 1,000 is just like the resale value is going to be high. And I don't know if that's going to be like it. I'm really curious how they decide to distribute this, because it's not just BAYC. It's also like a Bathing Ape has their own project as well. And they also have their own retail stores globally. So I'd be curious, you know, how the distribution of some of these products are going to be, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm very curious. A lot of people are looking forward to the merch. A hoodie, a jacket, like a Bored Ape hoodie jacket would be super sick. I'm sure that would be, you know, I'm definitely looking forward to buying some merch, a t-shirt, a hoodie. You know, I see Spend rocking those Bape shorts all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of Bored Ape shorts like that. That would be super sick.
So wait, I think we played this the last time.
Yeah.
But this could be the hoodie concept for Bape, as we see Chief Keef some people pull up on Chief Keith. Yo, is this not the Bored Ape skull? What do you guys think, chat?
I don't think it is, but it looks close.
I think
there's like an
is.
extra chin. There's like an extra
this thing
line right here. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that is or whatever this is. But you know what? On the opposite side, there's something on the opposite side too, right here. You can barely see it. Yeah, but I honestly don't mind that concept. I think the concept is sick.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to some new merch. And you know, with the new team member they brought on, hopefully they're more than just black t-shirts and black hoodies and black sweatpants. You know, I got enough black hoodies and sweatpants to last 10 lifetimes.
Hey, yeah, well, you can't go wrong with black, dude.
I know, but I'm looking forward to some variety.
All right, well, let me jump away from BAYC and Yuga real quick. I want to go over to Artifact, and this was just this is the first look at the 3 colorways for the Artifact Nike Dunk Genesis. This is the OG edition. This is the Clone X edition, and this is the Void edition. And you know, I know you have a lot of SB dunks. These aren't SBs, but this is Artifact's kind of rendition of dunks in the future. And they're about to have a forging event for those that for Clone X holders, they're going to be able to purchase this for $222. For Complex Con attendees, they'll be able to purchase this for $222 exclusively for people who attend Complex Con, and also people who own the Nike Artifact Dunk Genesis NFT who is able to purchase one of these for $222 if you own the NFT. If you have that NFT, you actually can purchase one of these and up to 2 of these and 2 of these.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on this? I love these, dude. I think they are so cool. They have this unibody upper. So the way it's kind of manufactured is it's just all one piece on the upper. This kind of like sheen that it has, you can see it's like slightly pink up here. It has like a little bit of coloration here. So it has this kind of gleam on it, this really cool gradient blue. And then this heel mod is this, and the tongue part is modular. And so those things do come off. And you can put like one of the vials in there. If you have access to a 3D printer, these are things you can maybe print yourself, these mods. And so I see a lot of people maybe doing some custom stuff with it. And then they have a new sole on these shoes, and new soles are not something that, you know, Nike does often, you know, even for the Yeezys.
I hate these soles, man. I think they're so ugly. Yeah, like the big chunk. I can deal with the top modules. Like you know,
can take those off too.
This, like, I know, but I've been imagining what it looks like the whole time without those pieces on there. Like I guess I have some questions, right? Are these buttons or are they just like visuals, right? Because at first I thought they were buttons, and then I realized these have laces. So, you know, like when you scroll in, it looks like this is going to be a softer material right here by the swoosh, and then maybe like a little harder plastic or something, or like a nubuck probably.
Yeah, they have the actual like little video of the material right here.
Oh, that's sick. Okay.
So you can kind of see that gleam has that unibody
So it's
They
some
call
kind
it
it's some
the
kind of leather or
lenticular
what?
upper. You know, I'm not 100% sure myself.
I want to see them front view, man, to be honest with you, because like on
They
the
will
side
have a lookbook. They're gonna have a
they look
lookbook
they look
coming
like
out.
they look like video game, you know, objects. They don't look real. So like just looking at them like that, yeah, they look sick as shit. As a sneaker that I would wear, I'm not particularly like sold on it, but I see the beauty of the individuality from rewarding, like how you explained the Clonex get this and this and you get them here. I think
Mhm.
that's super cool. I like that, you know, just from scarcity and rarity point. The black and the red ones, that they look so like that's too low key for me. If you're gonna do it, the cream ones look better. Just because there's
These
more
ones.
visibility. Yeah, like those just look like black work shoes to me with a little red on it. You know, like they're cool, but like it's just a black sneaker, right? So
Really? Oh
yeah,
man,
really.
it's just
Like
a black. It's not even
maybe
black to
maybe
me.
you didn't work in a restaurant, bro. Like I worked in a
Oh,
restaurant for 15 years.
I've been to restaurants. I see restaurant shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not
Nah, they're
like
pretty
I'm.
close. They're pretty close. They look, I mean, they
All
caught
right.
Swish black,
Hey,
but it's not, this isn't for me. But
these are even darker, dude.
I do like the swoosh on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um, they're cool, man. I want to see these in person and get a look. And like, you know, in person, you can see the material, see how it looks.
yeah.
I like
These are
the
like
first
high
ones at the top.
resolution renders right here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The sole looks more like an Air Max kind of sole, mixed with like,
This part is Air Maxi right here.
yeah, exactly. That's why it's like, I guess it's confusing because you know, for me, I'm Dunks are probably my second favorite shoe ever. I like that they have
Wait,
their
what's your
individual.
first?
My first are just classic bands, just like
Yeah.
the simple shit. Security shoes. Now this one's cool. The screen front. This one gives me that vibe of you know, the original Marty McFly self lacing. That's why I asked,
The
are these
mags.
buttons? Yeah, like are these? They have that same mag color scheme. You know, mag
No,
mini
one of the
kind of
things
thing.
like they didn't want to include anything with batteries because it wouldn't suffice with the international shipping, and they had to learn the hard way in the last kind of forging event. So
Yeah, yeah. These are cool
I
though,
can
and I can
understand that.
appreciate that they're doing new stuff.
But I also think like with the heel part being modular, the tongue part being modular, like people could, whether it's Nike, whether it's Artifact, whether it's someone who does customization, they can build in technically their own battery and create something from this, you know, like we've seen a lot of already concepts within the Clone X community of people getting really creative with it. But
Yeah, they're
I think
cool. They're
this
cool. I like these
rendition,
better.
I think this rendition on the Dunks is like, this is probably the most innovative thing that I've seen come out of Nike when it comes to like a classic OG silhouette.
I mean,
So
the only
that to
part that
me,
looks like a dunk is the front top of the toe.
well, if you look at the base design, it's based off of the Dunk. So like to
Okay, okay.
me, that's you're seeing the exact kind of silhouette with the exception of the tongue module, right? Like the, you know, it's a lot puffier up here. But you know, all of these patterns are coming from the Dunk itself.
No, yeah,
So
that for sure.
I just can't wait. I can't wait. Like to
Are you gonna
me,
grab one of these?
hell yeah, dude. I haven't been this hyped for a sneaker in so long, dude. And I plan on rocking these. I'm only able to get one because I only own one Dunk Genesis NFT.
What are
But
those running for? Just out of curiosity, do you know?
they were around 0.9 earlier today.
Oh wow, okay.
Wait, yeah, 0.09. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
0.09.
Interesting.
So yeah. And
Those are
then
dope.
but these cost $222. It's not like you don't burn it or anything like that. It's just like, hey, if you own this NFT, you have token gated access to purchase this, and that these are the only people who can purchase this is for people who own that NFT. I don't own a Clone X, so I do have access to purchase even this Clone X edition. The other thing is, like, I mean, I've been in the sneaker game for a minute, and I know you were like heavy into reselling, and have your business with reselling. And the one thing about this is they're controlling the market. Like, the holders get to pick the sizes that gets manufactured. These won't be out for a little bit of time.
Oh, are they taking, you order it and they like take a order?
Yeah.
They're not like, this is what we have, and you just
they're built to order. So
oh, I didn't know that.
Anyone could get like, oh, I want a size 14 of these. And
well, that's what I was wondering when
11.
you said Complex Con. I was like, how are they going to do that if everyone has access at Complex Con? That means
they're gonna take orders, and that this edition will be based off of how many people ordered at Complex Con, as well as
that'll be the rarest one.
Any Dunk Genesis. No, that won't be the rarest one.
You think it'll be the white one?
Yes, 1000%. These are because you, as a Dunk Genesis holder, you can only get one of these. And even if you own a Clone X or you go to Complex Con, no one else can purchase these.
Got
You have to own that NFT. Complex Con attendees could order this.
So that'll be the most, maybe. Okay.
And then
interesting.
A Dunk Genesis holder could order up to 2 of these.
Got it.
So
yeah.
This one's really popular, I think,
we'll have some community afterwards too, man. Just based on what you just said, right? If people miss out on it, they're gonna go, oh shit, who has a size 11 that I can copy?
Yeah. Cool. And Forge details are coming out tomorrow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Anthony.
I might have to get one of those, man. You're talking me into it.
No, don't get FOMO, man. Don't get FOMO. But
all right, so they're nice. They're nice. I appreciate the fact that we have some variety of sneakers to look forward to. Some new merch coming out soon. Out in the community. What else? What else is going on out there? There's a ton going on. We've been forging along. Season 6 is underway.
Yuga Labs Gaming.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let's bring it up.
So Yuga Labs decided to, listen to the community and create their own gaming channel. And one of the things they recently had done, the first thing they communicated was they, made this kind of remark about BAYC paying us some Ape to leave them alone and start a new account. So they added 150K Ape rewards to the top 10 finishers of the Rift Boss leaderboard. So yeah, that's one thing we can talk about, is the Rift, because I'd like to know how you're doing with all of that. And then this is the other thing that they put out right here.
Yeah, what's funny is it says drop a little hand. And I definitely didn't do that.
GM, drop a wave below if you're interested in joining a focus group for Yuga Labs games. We won't be able to select everyone, but do plan on rotating people in and out to get fresh takes of what we're working on. So, yeah, there's a lot of people ended up waving their hand. I see you got the salute going on. Yes, me. I want to help.
Yeah, click on it. Click on that. Look at the comments. People are like, all he had to do was wave.
You forgot to wave. Yeah, dude. I love what Law said, Yeah, dude. So what do you think? And I'm curious to put this out there for the chat too. What do you think would be good criteria to consider for selecting a focus group for Yuga Labs Gaming?
I mean, that's gonna be
if you
interesting, right?
if you're
I've been
creating this
wondering that.
group, yeah, like what do you
Yeah.
think are some good considerations they should think about?
Well, you know, I think first thing they gotta do is respond to this post with a wave. So I'm out. I don't even get concerned. No, I wanted to say, you know, that they should own a Yuga asset to some degree, right? Have some skin in the game. While there's going to be people with a million opinions out there, I feel like you have to have something. Like, I don't want to have someone come in and be like, I have 30 years of gaming experience, but I've never bought a Yuga asset, but here's how you fix everything. Like, that doesn't fly for me per se, right? So I would hope that in order to be part of the focus group, they have to have at least a Yuga asset, something, even one ape coin, you know, some connection. Have some outspoken opinion more so than anything. The people who are going to want to share their opinions are really, you know, think that their solution is the right way. There's a million of us online. I see it every day. You know, that's how some people get jobs these days, it seems. So what do people need to have like let's flip that question to you, Sean, because for
All
me,
right.
I really think the main important thing is they have to own a Yuga asset to some degree. It doesn't mean ape or mutant or anything, just like something.
Okay. That's totally fair. You know, I would imagine the majority of people in this focus group would have Yuga assets, but I don't think it necessarily needs to be a requirement, in my opinion. I think like when creating a focus group, it would be great to get the diversity of thoughts and, you know, different takes. So I would want to have maybe build out certain archetypes of players or potential collectors, you know, maybe someone who's just a collector who really doesn't care much about gaming, and get their feedback on this as well as someone who's hardcore and competing for the top 10 spots. And what is it like to do that and work with teams and hire people? And, you know, like that's a whole nother aspect of it. I just don't think it should be a group of those people or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's all
Yeah.
pro gamers. Like, hell no, dude. Like, all of this should really be kind of like diverse in the sense of you need to be able to have really solid feedback from, like, you know, people like Orangey, you know, who is completely immersed, very competitive, creates content on these games. I think those are some of the things like you need to understand, like, okay, what is like someone who is maybe coming from like a pro gamer standpoint, but also someone, I would say the majority of people who are active in this aren't that. And so I think it's going to be important to also really get that focus group filled with people who aren't pro gamers that are beginning to become more engaged with the game. And I think like there's like certain criteria that I think about. It's like, all right, you know, maybe if I'm Yuga and, you know, I'm Daniel Alegre, just essentially parsed out all the different kind of IPs and focuses, is like, yo, we need some Bored Apes in there. We might need like some Meebits in there. We might need some CryptoPunks in there. You know, we might need someone who's outside of the Yuga ecosystem in there. I think those are all going to be important too. 10KTF, like, I think those, maybe there's that criteria as well, is like, hey, at least have someone represented from each one of the brands within the Yuga ecosystem as well. I think that would be great criteria. And then even like, yeah, maybe someone who's like brand new to OGs. you know? And
I mean,
so
you're absolutely right. There has to be a diversity, because if you just have one group, you're just getting a specific opinion versus a group opinion. I'm curious, what do you think the focus group will be for? Like, I'm not necessarily curious about how to join the focus group, you know, because for a lot of us, we're going to say, hey, I want to join, and it's going to be up to them who they select, right? But I'm curious, what do you think that people are be volunteering for? You know, what is that focus group going to be based on? Is it going to be other side centric experiences that maybe you'll get like an alpha access to, perhaps?
I think Otherside could be a part of it, right? Otherside's a platform. Are there going to be games that are related to Otherside? For sure. But I don't think it's exclusive to Otherside. Like, you know, right now, I think what they probably do is they get a lot of QA from the team itself, right? They had some of the mods participate. It's like, yo, open that up to some of the community members who are actively, you know, going to be playing this, have really thoughtful feedback that they've submitted before, but give them the healthy channel to deliver that feedback, and you know, offer them the opportunity to do this ahead of time, where you can make those changes prior to launching to the public. And I think that would be really, really great if there's going to be a new update, you know. Like, dude, imagine if the Forge, let's say it was implemented right before season 6 of Heavy Metal. Could they have received some of this feedback versus having to course correct after they launch season 6? I think the answer is yes. You know what I mean? Like, I think if they had this group enabled, they could have had people sign an NDA or whatnot and just be like, look, we're gonna offer this feedback. The tricky part is, I think, is when rewards are on the line, you don't want to give anyone an unfair advantage. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's
You
the
know,
other consideration, is that there's a lot of people who hire people to make money off of this game, and that's a big part of it, right? Like, a lot of people here are for making a profit. So it gets pretty tricky in the sense of
this
you don't want to
reminds
give an
me.
unfair advantage.
Do you ever watch Silicon Valley?
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
You remember?
I,
Do you remember
I
that
lived
scene where
Silicon Valley.
I feel like so many of us have, like, you know, we see that and there's a connection in some degree, right? Do you ever remember that episode where he's like, oh, we made this great protocol, it's great, and then the girl goes, did you show it to anyone else except engineers? And he went, oh no, you know, I didn't. And I think sometimes that's how the Yuga stuff happens, right? Is they get so excited, and we saw that happen with Arzabala and, you know, Jenkins. Like, you get so excited to produce and create that you don't take in the feedback. So to your point, Sean, like, you're right. This community focus group could be helpful for Evo 2. It could be helpful for whatever 10K experiences they want to build in, right? So they can go, hey, this is what we think looks cool. What do you think, right? And so I can appreciate that, and that goes back to Daniel's post a little bit ago. Is they're actively listening, they're trying to participate. And, you know, I'll tell you, I thought the same thing that you did and mentioned it before. When we did our other side focus group, there was no focus group, right? They were like, we want to bring you together for feedback, and then at the end of the experience, everyone just kind of left, and we were like, wait, is there like a questionnaire? Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just go on Twitter and talk
Yeah,
about it now?
it was low key afterthought, you know, of
Yeah. So it's nice that they
collecting the
have
feedback.
this. It's nice that evolved to Berlin having a little actual focus group, to now an online focus group where they could reach everyone in a different way and go, hey, you know what? We actually actively give a fuck what you say, and we want you to build with us. Because if this goes well, then you'll have fun. If it goes poorly, you know, it's on you, because we listen to you guys.
Well,
You
you
know, but
know,
no, we can appreciate that, and that's what we want is
yeah,
communication and respect that like we're part of this.
I'm thinking out loud now. Like, if there was a focus group, do you think it would be fair to have it live streamed as well?
I
Or do
mean,
you
it
think it should
depends on it.
be closed?
I it doesn't matter. Like they should do both.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they really should do both. They should do private ones because there's some people who will give their they'll give their feedback more openly when they don't feel like they're, you know, in front of people. And then there's going to be people, if you put them on a camera in front of 1,000 potential viewers, they may, you know, pander to the audience, you know, and maybe not say what they actually think. So, um, probably not as I'm saying that out loud, because like if I were to be on you know, a stream of some variety, I may not talk how I would talk here. You know, I may not share the same thoughts I would share here because I know that there's people watching me and I want Yuga to love me. I want them to want me to work with them. You know what I mean? I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Even though we know that you might get the axe, you still want that notch on the belt. And so uh, I'm excited, and I hope that whoever they select really cares and gives, you know, gives true feedback. That's all we can ask, because feedback is an opinion. It's not going to make them do something, but they can listen, they can appreciate, and they can include us. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with feedback is really that honesty, and feedback doesn't necessarily mean you come up with the solution either. Because oftentimes when people give feedback, they're probably right on how they perceive something, but they may not be correct in how to fix it.
Right.
And
That was
that's
something
often the
Gargas
case.
said in one of his interviews, bro, back in the day, was almost exactly that. Like
Yeah.
exactly that. Was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
It's go ahead, I'm
I
sorry.
think, you know, if it becomes like a test group, you know, like choice, like there's going to be bug. I would hope that people get paid to be able to do that.
I mean,
But
have you ever been to a focus group before? You get paid. Like, I don't know if that's what they're doing here, but I grew up going to focus groups because
I didn't get paid for that other side test.
nah, but hey, you know what? Like, uh, there's a difference between a point of privilege and work. So, is it a privilege that you get to be part of the focus group, or is it work that you're doing to be part of the focus group? Right?
It's both.
Uh, I don't know, man. Every
Did you
focus group
submit
I've been to in
feedback?
my life,
Did
I
you
got paid.
submit feedback to the other side from that test?
No, they never gave me anywhere to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's an
I've hosted
email.
spaces.
There's an email.
Oh, I didn't get it. If I
Yeah,
did, I never saw it.
see, that's
I
what I'm
get, bro.
saying.
You listen on my emails right now. I have 526,000
Yeah,
unread
that's what I'm
emails.
saying.
So
It's work. It's work to be able to give really thoughtful, poignant feedback. And that's my point. And we do this anyway. That's why like feedback is a gift. You know, when someone gives you like some real feedback, then that is a gift. But anyhow, I do hope that the Yuga Labs Gaming focus group is diverse. I hope
yeah,
that,
I
you
am pretty
know,
sure we'll be.
they have criteria where, you know, any sort of criteria that you can think about, you just kind of have to think about it on a spectrum too. You know, it like, oh, like we'd love to have an OG. Well, shit, you also want to have someone who's not, you know. If you have a pro gamer, then get a casual gamer as well. You got someone who's dedicating 24/7 to this game and get their feedback. What about, you know, getting feedback from someone who doesn't have a lot of time to play? Those
Yeah.
are all going to be very important data points. And I think, you know, you obviously can't appease everyone, but it's going to be really good to just kind of understand, you know, where people are coming from. And perhaps there are elements of each game that some people will be more attuned to. You know, it's like, oh, this is this area for this, but we also have this mechanic that these other people may enjoy, you know. And you think of Heavy Metal Forge, it's like, yo, you got the min maxing going on, you got the, you know, energy farming, but also you got people who were really excited to just get creative with their forge, right? And that was like a big missed opportunity in terms of being able to, you know, somehow not, like, it wasn't even reward, it was like you're punished if you started building out your forge in a creative way.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean,
bro? Did you happen to catch OMG's video? He did an interview today with the person who might collect first place in the
oh yeah,
game. And it was interesting when they talked about, I listened to a little bit of the end, and he asked him, like, is this a game you would stream? You know, and he and the
yeah,
guy
create
answered, like,
content, forge it.
yeah, and he's like, I really wanted to, but it's a game where it's really passive, you're AFK a lot, not much going on, you know. And I can appreciate that Daniel and you guys aware that that this game wasn't not welcome, but it was a missed opportunity. It could have been better. The community didn't like it, right? And that really makes me hopeful that the second game, Evo 2, will be better, more fun, just different, right? Because if they're getting this feedback, I'm hopeful that they don't make a similar type of game. That's really what I'm hopeful. But in the meantime, we have Legend of the Mara going still, and that game is a whole nother strategy based game. The sediment is going so fast. Only 13% left of biogenic swamp, 75% left chemical goo, 83% cosmic dream, 88% infinite expanse, and 87% rainbow atmos.
Yeah.
Bro, I barely have any of these fragments because I've been hunting the whole time. Like, what are you at for your farming situation? Did that buying that tier 3 biogenic swamp really benefit you?
Yeah, I mean,
You have almost 100% more than me.
Yeah, I have 708. I just clicked harvest just now. I was hoping I can hit 1,000, but I don't think I'll be able to.
It'll be gone in what, 2 days?
Dude, probably less at this point. You know, would have to pull up Otherside Wiki and go to that fragment calculator. But yeah, it seems that this is going to be all farmed out very, very soon. And at that point, you got to think about all the whales as well as anyone else who are farming biogenic swamp. Like, what are they going to do with their farmers who can only farm? They're not Kodamara, they're just Mara. So they only have one role right now. So eventually these farmers need to move somewhere. And so I think a lot of people are anticipating chemical goo as that's the one that is next up in line. But also Cosmic Dream might be a good play if you have access to it as well. Just because not all Cosmic Dream deeds are expanded. A lot of them are owned by Yuga. So I think for me, based on what I have access to in my camp, and mind you, this Rainbow Atmos is the OTHERspace one, so it's just hunting. But I got one chemical goo right here, but I think I'm going to allocate my farmers into, you know, these sediment tier 2 Cosmic Dreams right afterwards. And so I would imagine Cosmic Dreams and chemical goo going down pretty quick after everyone kind of reallocates their farmers to chemical goo and Cosmic Dream. So that will definitely accelerate it.
I mean, I was telling you this earlier when we were chatting. I really think what's going to happen is we're going to see it start to compound really fast, right? So biogenic swamp will be done, and then people will attack chemical goo and Cosmic Dream, eat that up. then so on and so on. And as they move, it's going to be interesting. What's really going to be interesting is the price action behind it, right? And we watched the sediment tier 3 biogenic swamps go all the way up to, I think at 1.5 ether was the floor for them. And I think I checked yesterday because I've been on the fence. I have 2 sediment tier 1 biogenic swamps, and I was thinking, maybe do I switch one and get a tier 3? I looked yesterday, it was 1 ether. I looked today, it was 0.85 ether. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because you start to wonder if it's time to future plan and go, hey, listen, I may have missed the boat for the bio. Maybe I attack chemical, goo, or cosmic dream next. And we've talked about this before. That's an opportunity. Obviously not financial advice, but it's an opportunity that Sean and I individually are considering for our game. And earlier today, I was thinking I might buy a handful of those and try to flip them, because what if they're at 0.45 right now and it all of a sudden goes up to 0.8 an ether when that's the in demand commodity, right? What do you think, Sean? What are you looking at when you look at these two right now?
Well, first of all, like biogenic swamp at 0.85, it kind of hurts, not too long ago I got a sediment tier 3, which all of these are sediment tier 3 biogenic swamps, by the way. And today we're using otherdex.io, and biogenic swamp tier 3, I got a tier 3 environment for 1.8, and it's at 1.2. So like a 0.6 difference already from just,
and that's
like
been only a few days, right?
Week and a half.
Okay. So then you got to wonder, right? And this is what we got to speculate on is that 0.6 difference going to be offset by the amount of biogenics fragments that you earned in that time period? And you got to hope it does.
I could think of it that way. I can also think of it as, if I sell this deed right now, like, what would that make that up and then move it into something else? You're always going to keep it moving. But I think the thing for me is I didn't get it to flip it right after, because I certainly thought about like the fact that, hey, once bio sediment frags are all farmed out, is this going to offer any value? And the answer to me is yes. I think there's going to be ways that people are going to use the sediment fragments to convert their Mara into a Kodomara. It goes back into the global supply. And then there's still going to be purposes for farming sediment fragments, in the biogenic swamp. And I want to be ready for that. So I at least want to have access to be able to do that from a farming play. And yeah, so I'm not mad at my decision to just have one sediment tier 3.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of time, though, because what I would end up doing with this is, if I end up going to my camp, that biogenic swamp tier 3, that becomes a tier 3 hunting deed in the meantime, if all of this stuff is farmed out. You know what I mean?
Interesting. That's interesting, actually, what you just said. And an interesting observation is that there's going to be people who, when they go off of the biogenics, they may still want to retain them because they have good resources that they still haven't farmed yet in the future. They might have an artifact.
This has some rare resources.
Okay. So then it becomes like, maybe that becomes your primary hunting, because a lot of people haven't been hunting. And so like I'm gonna jump over to my screen.
I gotta move those farmers though, like, because those can't hunt. But the thing is, if you don't mind, just real quick, just going back.
Yeah, it's on your screen.
The last thing I wanted to point out was, these are my farmers right now, and I mean my hunters right now, and they're all on tier 1. Now, how many shattered can you defeat on a tier 1 deed? The maximum is 2.
Yeah.
So I'm about to finish up with hunting on these deeds for the season. These are about to hit 2 hunters defeated. I can no longer hunt on these for this season. So I'm going to take all 3 of these and move it over to this one right here. Once biogenic fragments are I'm sorry, biogenic swamp is all farmed out, I'll probably move it over to 2338 and start hunting on that one. And then what I'll end up doing here is farming on these 2. So it's kind of nice to be able to switch it up. But I'm noticing too, anyone with a tier 1 deed, once they max out the amount of shattered that are defeated, they have to move those hunters onto a different deed. And the ones with the higher tiers, they're going to have, you know, a better chance of being able to get more rewards. So I think for me, looking back, it was like, I'm pretty glad that I was able to get already 3 master chests for just throwing these onto a tier 1 hunting, tier 1 for hunting, you know?
Yeah. Did you get anything, you know, of value that you thought was particularly cool in the chest?
Yeah. I got some cool stuff, man. I got some legendary stuff. You know, I got screenshots. I wish I could show
Yeah,
you
I
my
mean, for
inventory.
anyone who is looking for their inventory, you can't actually see it yet. So a lot of people have messaged me asking this, and you know, and Yuga does need to improve on their communications for this gaming in general. So I applaud them on starting with the Twitter page. But they're
What's your answer to this, Jay? How many
oh man,
Maras do you plan on evolving to Kodamara?
that's all
All of them?
entirely dependent on how many fragments I have and how much money, how much they cost, right? And like,
Yeah, good
is
point.
there a benefit to doing it in season 1 versus season 2 with the catalyst? You know, like I'm not going to rush into anything. I never want to be the first, right? Unless there's like a scarcity amount. So I'll probably wait a day, kind of see it out and see like kind of watch people catalyze their objects, right? Because like if it has to do with the fragment combos, if it has to do with certain things you have to give it to ingest, like I want to learn the patterns before I make a decision. But there's a lot to go with this, right? So like I'm gonna jump to my screen real quick. And you know, I had been farming for the longest time on this particular deed, and something I'm kind of curious about, Sean, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. I kind of think you fuck yourself when you just throw a hunter on a deed because it starts a clock. And if you are just putting a hunter on a deed just to like put it on there, it could mess up your strategy. For instance, this particular Rainbow Atmos that I have up here, 81302, I
Yeah.
had my weapon coda on here, 2 codas, and an enchanter, uncommon enchanter, and they kicked ass. And I thought, well, let me just put this hunter there to go ahead and kill some time and whatever. And boy, was I dumb to do that because
Boy.
it took me from being in the top 100th place to now I'm 256th place, and I still have a tremendous amount more time to defeat the second shattered because I went from a coda build to just a single guy. So what I should have done was I
Yeah.
should have just left this empty. I should have not put that hunter there
Why? I
because
don't
as soon
get
as
it
I put it
because
there,
that all makes sense to me, because you're going to expect, if you got a coda on there, period, hunting, then you're going to be defeating the shattered way quicker than a common hunter.
exactly. So I went from like the strongest thing I could possibly put to the weakest thing I could possibly put out there. So like for me, I'm thinking about selling this hunter. I don't really have a need for a single individual one
Can we take
like
a look
that.
at your leaderboard on that?
Yeah, let me bring up a different screen.
Or bring up the shattered. Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. Like this has been, you know, we'll jump to the leaderboard. I'm all the way down here at 254 right now with 24% only accomplished, right? Like I kicked ass. It took 2 days. And now by putting that there, it's been going for 8 days. So I should have been patient and probably just put my quotas back over there. I got impatient and was moving them all around, right? So I went to this one, I went to this one, I went to this one, but I ended up getting 5 master chests so far. And
Yeah,
in that,
that's great.
I got some cool stuff. But the caveat is you have 700 plus biogenic swamp. I barely have 300, right? So that's a decision I made. And now I've put these to work on my biogenics. I'm farming as much as I can
Just
until
to
it's
try to
gone.
pick up. Yep.
Yeah, just to get a little. And then I'm gonna go back into this is the part where I'm stuck. Do I go back to hunting, or do I go primarily after uh, the mutant goo and pick up a cosmic dream? And that's going to be a conversation probably for a future episode once I get there. But it's interesting, this game, to me, how theoretical it is, and how much strategy goes into all of this. Like I
Yeah, there's a lot
really
of
regret
strategy, a
putting
lot of
this
math.
down, bro.
But wait,
No,
you regret putting that down versus what? Like you would have
just
just
leaving it
left everything there?
just leaving it off and putting my quotas back when I was ready to bring that same intensity,
But
right?
you already
Because
started it. You already
right,
started
right, right. But it's not, you're right. Like it's not that I thought if I would leave this off, the clock wouldn't go. What I mean was I shouldn't have started with that powerful coda combo and then went like, oh, I'm gonna switch my strategy completely. Now I'm gonna put this little guy here instead of putting my coda combo back on. Because if I would have done that, I'd be in the top 50, right? So let me show you this real quick. On this particular one, oh, I can't show you if there's no, damn. On this one, I'm 26th place because I've defeated 3 shatters now. So it's actually in its cooldown period right now. And I can defeat 4 total on this, but I kind of timed it perfectly where I think this is gonna run out of biogenic swamp fragments almost exactly when this 48-hour cooldown period finishes. So I'm gonna move these guys back, defeat my 4th shattered, and then be completely done. But here's the question I wanted to ask you earlier, and I lost my thought. Someone had mentioned to me that they thought that the deeds that have the Goliaths on them defeated will be more valuable, perhaps. I'm almost curious if they may be less valuable, because that
why?
means that, like, let's say I buy yours,
Oh,
maybe I don't want your speed on it. Maybe I wanted to try with my assets, right? So I might want to look for one that doesn't have a Goliath attempted on it yet, or Shattered attempted on it yet. What do you think of that?
well, currently the master chest is tied to it. So, these aren't minted just yet.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Okay.
So, the Goliath killed all that. That's why you don't see, like, in the camp, you don't see the inventory button for all the chests. You have to go into the deed first and then click on the inventory. But they did say at the end of the season there would be a minting event where you would be able to mint all of these and then be able to mix and match, like, out of all your different, like, if you got epic ship parts from multiple deeds, right? Like you
That
would be
makes a
able to use
lot
them
of
all.
sense.
But
That makes a lot of sense.
but yeah, man, I think it's kind of nice if there's already 2 hunted, in my opinion. And I don't know for certain. I think that's just to my understanding. So I think it would be nice if there was something where it already had the 2 shattered killed. Like, great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A spot
No,
on the
that makes
leaderboard.
sense. That actually makes sense, because then you're buying that advantageous spot, right? You don't have to put in the work. You could just buy
Yeah.
that
They
almost that
probably
finished
could have
line
used
spot.
enchanters. Like, they already secured a master chest.
That's
Um,
interesting. This
But
is so I brought up 3 of the 5 chests I got just to show people an idea of what they look like when it pops up on your screen, right? Sean, when you claimed
yeah,
yours, there wasn't anything you did. You just turned on the game and it just like kind of appeared, correct?
yeah, it was like one of the like it said I defeat it, it said master chess, like it was just popped up on the screen.
Right,
So I was
right.
like,
Okay.
oh, sick.
Yeah, I got in this one a legendary hanger part and an uncommon hanger part. Not sure what those are for, but okay. Uncommon engine part, rare engine part, and then I got a Serum City box tier 2. It looks beautiful. Another 2 legendary parts, some more engine parts, a Serum City box tier 1. So I got a box tier 1 and box tier 2 of that. So that'll be interesting. A few more legendary parts, but the more
That's
recent
cool.
ones, the more recent ones I've got, dude, are just rare and uncommons. And it makes me
Yeah,
wonder if it's like the good stuff's disappearing.
I think it is. I think
Yeah.
all the good stuff has been claimed, you know, so it really matters like how quickly you defeat the Shattered.
You got some
Um,
bongos.
dude, yeah, this I actually have 3 of them that I got, but I can't find the 3rd screenshot, which I remember was better than this. This is my worst one. So
Oh,
I got 3 uncommons, 2 uncommon engine parts, 1 uncommon hanger. I got those bugbear bongos, which I think is pretty ironic and funny because we were just making fun of it, and just making jokes on like what the hell do those do?
yeah.
And
What
now
could those
I
be?
have some. Now I have some. And then this one, not too bad. I got a Serum City tier 3 box, an Eldritch Codex legendary,
Oh,
and then epic engine part, epic hanger part. And then the other one, I definitely have some legendary engine parts and epic parts. But I also
nice.
find it interesting that, this only has 5 pieces
Right.
and this one has 6, so
It that has to
you
do with
never
the
know.
speed. That has to do with, I think, the speed in which you beat your ranking, because there's some
Yeah.
that are 4, there's some that are 5, there's some that are 6, and so on. And like I
And
actually
these are
found
all
a
tier 1. These are all tier 1.
interesting. Most of mine, the legendary ones I got were from tier 3. I found one more that I got, and I thought this was the coolest. This was actually the very first one I got, that I
Oh
got from the
yeah, that's
master
fire. You
chest,
got
and
a
I got a
Renga.
Renga Echo, yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool. And
That's
another
cool.
legendary part. So this is interesting, Sean. I was staring at it. Look at the screen of the Renga Echo. Does that look like an
Can you zoom
enchanter?
in?
No, like, how do I? All right, there we go. Can you see that? Doesn't it look like an enchanter?
Yeah,
All right,
that's
there we go.
fine.
There we
That's
go.
fine.
No. I forgot I have a mouse trackpad. Look at that. What is on the
Yeah,
screen? You know?
yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
so this goes to my question earlier, right? Because like I was like, there's partner projects. Are we getting NFTs from them, or will they be like collaborative in some dynamic way? And I
Yeah,
also
they have
got
to be
a,
used. They
I
have
think
to be
they,
useful.
yeah, I also got like a wizard lantern or something on one of the other boxes. So I'm getting these little bits of information and parts that are cool for other projects that I don't know shit about, but intrigued. And technically, I think I got my first Ranga thing there, so that's cool.
Yeah, dude. Those are hard to come by. When I'm
Yeah.
going through some of these leaderboards, let me see if I can pull something up. Let's see. Oh, I have to use this little dude.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it.
All right.
So yeah, I noticed once you use it and it's active, that pink dot icon kind of shows up right here. Who knows if I'll be able to finish off Thrash before this 14-day period. I am glad that they extended the time because there's no way I would have defeated it within 10 days, by the way.
What does that mean then after that's gone, right? A lot of people are wondering. After those
Okay.
14 days are gone, then what?
After Master Chest is done, then you're going to be able to get this next one, which is...
And each tier down is less rare parts.
This last one is Novice, yeah. So Master is the best, like, chest where it has like the best items.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that.
Here's
before.
the Forgotten, and this is tier 1. There's not as many items as if like you had a tier 5, but look at Serum City. Those are all gone. Ship parts, there's still some left, so people are still getting ship parts, but there's way more commons than there are legendaries for hanger and ship parts. Like 15k commons left and only 1,600 legendaries left.
I have not seen this screen yet.
Oh, really?
No, yeah. So the Rengas are gone too.
Look at the one you got. There's only maybe 6, or is it a rare or a common?
No, I got a common.
So there's only 6 in an environment tier 1.
Wow. Okay,
you know
so this is on. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah,
you know what? I
might tier 1.
I gotta look at this. I didn't know this was there. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is that I'm gonna take my hunter off of the deed that I have it on, and move it over to the tier tier 3 one that I had out of curiosity, just to bring that leaderboard up. Let me do that real quick. Man, you got me all fired up. I love this game. Like, so far, Legend of the Mara has been tremendously enjoyable. So I'm going to put my hunter on real quick. I'm going to bring my screen up real quick. Bear with me.
So,
all right. So I've got my screen up. We're going to go to the leaderboard here. I'm still in a 48-hour cooldown period. I hope, I believe, I think. If not, I'm going to have to move my stuff over right now. Because on this one, dude, okay, I got 5 hours left. So I'm gonna set an alarm for 5 hours and 20.
What'd you use your mist on?
Bro, first I expedited from the 2nd to the 3rd shatter. And then I pushed a lot of mist at him, thinking I was gonna kill it faster. So I was able to defeat, I'm right here, the 4D04. I've defeated my 3rd shattered. Why does the screen look so weird? Oh, there we go. I'm currently in 37th place.
All right,
my cooldown period. Yeah, my cooldown period is 5 hours left, and then I'll be able to go to my 4th one and be completed. And once I start from my 4th one, I think that'll put me in like the top 20, because up here like 11 seems to be the cap for 4th, right? So I think that'll give me an opportunity to maybe get a Renga Samurai. But
what tier is this?
This is a tier 3.
Tier 3. How many more do you have?
How many more what?
How many more? What's the cap on how many shattered there are to defeat on tier 3?
On a tier 3, there's 4.
Oh, okay.
So 4 is the most you can go. So I have 1 more. Yeah, exactly. And I have a total of 16 days, up here on 4th. They're at 12 days. So I think realistically, I can get into the top numbers. 25. Yeah. And, I've been talking with Do It Big Chicago, and he's pretty firm that you can, with a few $100 in mist, really push yourself forward. But like for this, I can spawn 170. Shit, I might do that right now.
No, go to your little coda icon on the bottom left.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Oh, I guess you don't have it. Go to one where I was gonna say, like, with your codas, it'd be cool to see like what you have. Well, I know Dirk,
you know what I wanted to see was that screen that you had up, Sean. Where did you find that?
You gotta be able to see the shattered loot, which you don't see right now.
That's a bummer.
I'll show you what a tier 5 looks like. Very different.
Yeah.
So
let's do it.
Top right. So you can see lots more. Some of the same items, but you just have a much higher quantity.
Interesting.
So all the Forgotten Runes stuff is still available. All the Sim Cities still available. Ship parts, you got like 4 times more legendary ship parts. Ship parts 2, I guess the hanger parts. You got those.
Wow, these Ranga are very limited. Like I didn't realize
look
how
at
few of those
look at the Ranga. That's the only thing that says fully claimed in the tier 5 category.
Wow. And at the most there was 38. Wow.
Yeah, 38 for a tier 5, you know?
Wow.
So
that's crazy, man.
What I was going to say is, when you click over here, you can kind of see like the basic stats, but also the skills. And so, some of your quotas, will have, they should have different skills and stuff. And,
yeah, I actually am wondering if I took screenshots of that because I was looking at it the other day. And
you can see in the
I
metadata, but it's nice to see it here too.
I didn't save it, but the coda with the weapon had a faster attack speed. The metrics were higher. It was really cool. Dirk, you get me all fired up saying that was one of the rarer pulls. I think it's one of the better ones I got for sure.
Yeah, anything Ranga related.
Yeah, Ranga Echo. I'll take it.
Did you see the recent news of Dirty Robot taking over as CEO for Ranga?
No. Actually, I might have a while back. I think that was a while back. Now that I think about it. That's cool. I wouldn't mind getting one of these. I'm stoked that I got that Ranga.
It happened 3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he wrote a letter to the community. Dear Ranga collectors and community. But yeah, he's going to be taking the reins as CEO and founder and step into this leadership role as the best way to guide the company, the project, and ensure the essence remains true. Proud to announce I'll be supported by a carefully curated, experienced team who can lead the vision to the future. So basically, he's doubling down on it, on Ranga.
Wow.
So not just the artist, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
man, I can't believe how much happens in this space on a constant day-to-day basis. I'm appreciative of us spending the time to do OTHERspace PM every week, Sean, because I think for a lot of us, like you see a lot of stuff that I don't see. I may see a lot of stuff you don't see.
Oh, 1000%.
Whole different perspective of stuff. Like I didn't know about those Nikes. I'm gonna probably look into it a little bit more. I'm just watching the biogenic swamp fragments go down and down. It's already at 12%, and I could have sworn it was 14% earlier when we started our stream like 2 hours ago. So I might actually just wait for that hunt to be done tomorrow, and then I'll move mine into the hunt. I'm not gonna rush that, but
I agree, man. Before we wrap up, I do have to say, like, I'm pretty proud of myself on catching up on Heavy Metal Forge. Heavy Metal Forge, like, I'm at least trying to get like top 1,000 and get like that additional multiplier. And I'm happy to say, after 2 days of playing Forge for like just a little bit, and I say a little bit, like maybe go in like 3 times each day. Dude, I'm in 947th place right now. So
nice.
I was like, you know what? I just need to like every day just go in, do my thing a little bit. I hate the grind, I hate the chore, but it's pretty easy, but I don't like it. But
congrats, man, because it's tough. I fall asleep playing this game.
Yeah, but what I want is I want that power score multiplier. That's the main thing. I want that to have an effect in even Legends of the Mara, right? So if I have the opportunity to do something where I don't have to pay for it, and I just every day for the next like, you know, couple weeks, just go into the Rift and beat the boss like 1 or 2 times, then you know, hey, if that gets me like a doper NFT that I can use in Legends of the Mara, that's kind of like how I have to think of it to keep myself motivated. You know what I mean?
No, I
It's
totally
the only
see
way.
that.
The only way. I gotta think of it like, all right, what's the whole purpose of this? What is this going to do? But
That's
yeah,
totally fair, man. That's awesome, dude. I played it a little bit. It's really hard for me, not because it's a difficult game, but because it's very like boring. So I can do like 3 games before I'm like, I gotta go do something else. This is not built for people who have crazy ADHD like me, where I'm like, I gotta go outside. I can't. But I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna put an hour in probably tomorrow and give it a shot. Sean, here's what I'll tell you from playing it just a few times is it doesn't seem unmanageable to get in the top 1,000 because so many people aren't even playing. Like I went from 88 when I started to 2300-ish with only 4 attempts to go into the Rift and battle a boss. So it doesn't take a tremendous amount.
That's what I'm realizing.
This is a good
right
point.
now.
Max your shimmer biome chance and hit that shimmer 1 time a day and you'll get top 200 easy. Yeah, like
that's what happened. That's what happened. My last one, I've hit a shimmer biome. I have like the power up that gets me in the shimmer, like has a 10% increase or whatever, and was able to hit that shimmer biome. I actually did pay a few gears to increase my shard capacity as well. Starting yesterday. And that was helpful because after I got out of the shimmer biome, I had like 1,400 and something shards to walk away with, and immediately I was like, oh, I'm in the top 1,000. If that happens again, like I should be able to climb the ranks even more. So,
right.
You know, I'm not going for like top 100 though. Like I
might be out of the opportunity by now, I think.
Yeah, and because do you have 20 million energy? Because we get that 5% multiplier bonus as well.
No, I'm still building out to the 4th portal for a lot of them and working on that because I think the max energy I have is 15 million on one. So
shit.
This game has been difficult, man. Started off with a lot of energy and burnt the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to be over.
Dude. You go in
that is
hard.
I go super hard and then I chill. But you know what, guys? This has been a great. I'm so over it. But that's why I'm appreciative that they have multiple games. And I look forward to Otherside being open. That's going to be the perfect place for someone with ADHD where I could be like, oh, look, a hawk. Oh, look, a bunny. Oh, look, something else. You know, Sean gets it.
That's your backyard.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to think what animals have I seen in the backyard. There was a bunny outside yesterday. That was pretty cool. Anyways, guys, we appreciate everyone coming through and hanging out for another episode of OTHERspace PM. I can't believe this is our 12th episode, dog.
I can't believe we were streaming on a Tuesday night with, you know, people that are actually here in the chat. Yo, thank you guys. Appreciate everyone pulling up. And then you're difficult, Jason.
Thanks, Boomer.
That's why we love you, Jay. It's good to see your beautiful pink fur again.
Yeah, feels right.
And yeah, and you know what? It's gonna be a good week. Hopefully. I know there's a lot of people that lost their job. You know, if it makes you feel any better, I still don't have a job.
Bro, now they have more time to hang out with us again. You know, we got our friends back.
Yeah, we need to.
You know what?
We need to start building, you know, with each other. And that's one thing I think there is like an advantage of being on the community side of things is like we have a lot of flexibility with building with ourselves. You know what I
Well,
mean?
and you
And
know what? Something we didn't talk about, but I'm looking forward to when you say building with ourselves. We talked about Rec League earlier in our pre-show meeting, and how they're gonna have an update soon that might be like a duel or something. So we might be able to get some other
some
Space
finally
FM community games
matchmaking.
going.
Yeah, like I'd be
Yeah,
able to type in a code and be able to play you now. So hopefully we can at least be able to play. Like,
yeah, bro. Like, anyways,
is
we'll talk
now a
about
good
that.
time to like start customizing your mech? I feel like all the prices are down, so maybe I do kind of get some of those power moves those skills that I wanted.
Bro, I've been messaging
But
him like, when are you gonna get the warm wallet shit going? Because I claimed a Yuga founders box that's in my vault, and I'm not gonna connect that. So like, I'm still waiting on that. But Boomer, open your boxes, come on, or give them to me.
oh,
I gotta
choices
check.
scoping.
Yeah, I like that game. I like that game. We saw the homie Adam Hollander post that he criticized, critiqued,
Oh
however you
yeah.
want to say it. And you got to appreciate that he ended up becoming an advisor for them through that experience, right? So very cool to
Yeah, we
see.
did say, let's see. Yeah, he wrote out this tweet a little bit earlier. Here. I'm excited to share that I've accepted a formal advisory role at Enway Games, part of Animoca Brands, the company behind Rec League. A few months ago, I posted criticism about their mint and launch. Most CEOs would ignore it, but somehow Sumoru reached out personally and asked to schedule a call. We talked several times since, and I've been extremely impressed both in how he's taken feedback and the plans his team has for the future. I posted that before. I believe this game itself is extremely fun and exceptionally well done. With the right strategy, I generally think it has a lot of potential. As an advisor, I look forward to playing a minor role in the success and moving it forward.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
it's pretty cool, man, to see how this is like a really good example of like offering feedback with tact. And Adam does a pretty good job at just leaving really good honest feedback that's helpful to hear. I wanted to kind of like figure out like if we would be able to go through it, but the search on Twitter on the desktop sucks so bad.
Yeah, dude, it's
Like
not great.
if I wanna like just search Rec League, like they make it so difficult. Like I can't do that. I have to
When are we gonna have an app called Ape Talk? Who's making Ape Talk? That's just a mobile social fi ape platform. I'm down for that.
some
Somebody asked
people
me to put it. Go for it.
we may
Yeah, I was saying some
be
people
saying
hit
the
me up
same
asking.
thing.
Yeah. Some people hit me up asking if I wanted to help them with an ape SoFi platform.
Yeah, same.
Oh, that's interesting. You know what?
I thought to
Let's
myself
save
like,
that for another day.
yeah, I told myself like I'm not getting in like early on any of that stuff, man. I still don't even know about this friend tech stuff. I still log in and use it a little bit, but it is more so experimentation and just learning about it.
The social credit score isn't. The social credit score is something that I don't really enjoy, but it is an interesting dynamic of what's going to be part of our future. But that is a whole nother conversation for a much deeper conversation. Let's maybe smoke some blunts one day and do blunt talk. Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
And that could be a podcast, right? So we don't get demonetized when we go, welcome to Blunt Talk. I got an idea.
We need
Let me
to do
tell you
this on
about
the
it.
other side. By the way,
It will
doing
happen.
this on the other side, our background right now is our tier 5 sky deed at night. So that's what you're seeing right now.
I tried to remove you to show it, but it just put me up, so that didn't work.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's the time where we're getting loopy. It's super late. We appreciate
Hell
everyone
yeah.
hanging out. You know what? This Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have OTHERspace FM. You know, that's our Twitter Spaces, the thing we look forward to all week. We got a ton to break down. We welcome all of you to come and participate.
That's
This
why we
week will
look
be
forward
fun,
to
I'm
it, is
sure.
we get to hear from all of you. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, definitely excited to converse with all of our friends. You know what I'm excited about the most, Sean, is that because 10KTF is being almost forcefully pushed into the other side, now we have so many great content creators who will start to make other side content as well, which should, in theory, amplify the other side's reach and more people get excited about what's to come. So that's what I'm hopeful. Look at this. Jason the old man, it's almost 11 and he's loopy and tired. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I am. Okay.
He's not gonna try and hide that.
No, I'm
He
sleepy
starts
and I
getting
gotta
loopy
pee.
around 9.
I've had too many of these ape water. I know. Last night I hit up Sean. Hey man, let's stay up late and do some work. I saw a message. I said, sorry, I fell asleep at 9. So
It's all good,
I wake
man.
up at like 5 in the morning for no reason. What can I say? I am an old man now. I love
Yeah.
you guys. Hit that like button. You know what? Tell your friends to subscribe. If you haven't already, I'm sure you all subscribe. We need to get our subscriber count up because our watch hours are fantastic. You guys hang out the whole time, but we need more people to hang out with. So we gotta get that going.
It'd
Gotta
be
spread
nice to
that message.
monetize one day.
We'll get there. We're coming. We're coming for you, Monty. Love you guys.
But
I know.
in the meantime, it's all about the value, and hopefully you found value in tapping in with us. I found a lot of
Yeah, we had a
value in
blast.
tapping and having fun with you guys. So
I
thank
learned
you,
a lot
Jason.
today myself. Like just myself, I learned a lot. So I'm stoked. I hope you guys dig it. Sean.
Hell yeah, William. Yeah, we need
William.
Dude. 10KTF Thursday. Like, I can't wait to see if anything happens on Thursday. I think Atari is going to DJ, you know, since Midori is no longer the resident DJ for 10KTF or New Tokyo. So
You know what?
I think there's going to be like community DJs or something like that. I think Atari is going to pick this next one up.
Bro, Jason the Ape is about to be a community DJ in the OTHERspace FM Discord. I'll have to come up with the show, and I've always wanted to do that, man. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
I'm gonna do it.
Good stuff. You heard it here first.
I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, he didn't say when.
Just like Daniel. P.S. Clubhouse.
Do you realize how many 4G Fridays or Friday 4Gs I've DJ'd?
Jason on the left doesn't seem right.
Here, there we go.
Oh, back to
that feels better. Yeah. Yo, yeah. In the OTHERspace Discord, I go by DJ Hot Mic because at some point someone was like hot mic'd, and in order to call him out, I was just be like, yo, DJ Hot Mic, and just try to let them know that yeah, they were doing something. I can't say what.
Yeah. I mean, hot mic is the worst, man. I'm always afraid I'm hot mic'd. All my devices are listening. Always be polite to your computers. You never know how long it'll be until they take over the world.
On that note, good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.